Hi, my name is Paige Newman. I'm a curator at the Virginia Museum of History and Culture. And today I'm going to try to recreate a historic recipe from a book we have in our collection from 1862 called How to Mix Drinks, or The Bon Vivant's Companion. The recipe I'm trying to recreate is mulled wine without eggs. The author of How to Mix Drinks or The Bon Vivant's Companion was named Jeremiah P. Thomas. He was born in 1830 and died in 1885. He owned and operated saloons around New York City and is considered to be the father of American mixology. So for the mulled wine without eggs recipe, I'll be using red wine. I'm using a claret, as the recipe suggests. Also, cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, and sugar. The only measurements with this recipe are for the wine and the water, but the sugar and spice are to taste. So I've got to figure out what quantity of each I'm going to add. The spices I'm going to use for the mulled wine are cinnamon. Add 1 stick of cinnamon. Cloves. Let's add 2 cloves. And just a little pinch of nutmeg. We're going to cover the spices, just cover with water, and then let them boil so it extracts the flavor. Brought the spices to a boil, and now I'm going to add the claret. And I'm going to add to taste. I don't really like things too sweet. I think I'm going to add not quite 2 tablespoons of sugar. And we'll go from there. I'll taste a little bit as it warms up with the spices. And you might have noticed I don't have cheesecloth, so I'm going to strain this when I pour it. I have a tea strainer that I'm going to use, but if you have cheesecloth, that might be preferable if you don't have a type of strainer, because you don't want to be sipping on cloves or that cinnamon stick or even the nutmeg. So we're going to let this boil for a bit. Okay, I brought the wine to a boil, and now we're gonna pour. So this is a tea strainer I was mentioning. Do it without spilling. Okay. Okay, so for the moment of truth. That's good. Cheers, Jerry Thomas. Thank you. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Recipes Remade. Tell us what you think by leaving a comment here and tagging us in any post if you try this recipe for yourself. Learn more about this series and other VMHC programs at virginiahistory.org/events, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Virginia History and on Twitter at Virginia Museum. Cheers.